Underrated and overrated.
Yeah.
First player we'll all agree on is Edison.
Overrated. It's so overrated.
Yeah.
It's crap.
Because he
was
obviously
terrible.
he used to be best keeper in the world. He used to, but now, no. Yeah.
We're doing this from like last few seasons.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think he's
Overrated.
overrated a bit.
It's terrible.
Just because
It's the defence that helps him out.
Yeah, you have to take into consideration that the defence in front of him
is one of the best in the
world-class,
league.
You know, so you're not going to have to do much.
Yeah.
And therefore, and that's why when
he's got amazing distribution. It's just
yeah.
Keep him.
That's why you look at percentages, because if and the stats that don't contribute to your defence. So like saves a season contributes to your defence, because if your defence is better, you won't have to make as
all
many
the
saves.
hype about him is like he was good, but now he's not amazing.
Well,
so
I think it's always been his defence. I honestly don't.
There's not a time that City have ever had a
bad defence as it's been on him.
Joelinton, I think he's underrated.
I think he's underrated, definitely.
underrated.
Yeah.
last season, I think he was quality.
I really liked him last season.
I think him moving into
Centre mid.
into midfield.
Yeah, because he used to be a striker, didn't he?
He helped
he was
him out
really
a
sort
lot
of
last season.
hated because he never scored.
Although I think
and then
it really
Eddie Howe
helped.
came in, moved him into midfield, and he's
That
done a
really
brilliant
helped.
job.
Especially now they've got like Wilson and Isaac. He wouldn't even be playing if he still was a striker. So moving into centre mid was
he's definitely
the best.
underrated.
And now I think no one gives him enough credit for what he does in midfield for Newcastle, because he contributes to a lot of goals, gets a fair few assists, and does what a midfielder needs to do. Van Dijk in the last few seasons, taking into consideration.
Overrated.
Yeah. He's
He's
had his
also
moments.
fairly rated. Although actually no, let's not do that. Let's do the extremes.
I think
so
he's
we
had
have
his
to
moments in each season where he's been brilliant, but they're his moments. And I think when he was brilliant, and then he came back from the injury again. Where he got
that's
injured
not his fault, but still, it happens.
Yeah,
so
he's just overrated because he's not as good as he was.
I think from his injury just
ruined everything.
Off his peak, wasn't it?
God, that better not happen with Timber.
Oh, imagine.
I'm still laughing that he's
I'm sorry.
for 11 months. Is it 11? Yeah, 11 months.
I'm still crying.
So are we all saying Van Dijk's overrated?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Zaha at Palace, because now he's at Galatasaray. I think he's played.
Well, the thing is, I think because it was Palace, he was seen as their best player. But still, that's a tricky one.
Because you can't say fairly rated.
I actually was watching something this morning, and Ben White was talking about coming up against like Zaha, and he was saying he's one of the trickiest wingers in the Prem because of his pace and because of just the skill. And
remember when Guendouzi rugby tackled Zaha?
And
in the last minute, we were winning 2-1 against Palace. 97th minute, they were on the attack. Guendouzi literally rugby.
And he was saying he just like Zaha. He's too good, and I think. He might be I'd say fairly, but we can't. So I might say a little under. I really don't know. It's so hard.
Yeah, that's good. He plays for Palace, who are.
Do you think
terrible?
Because people sort of. They show him as a player that scores like 20, 30 goals a season.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He scores about 10, 15.
I reckon I reckon overrated only because he has more hype for playing for a team.
I don't know, because
if he was playing for a team like Liverpool, they wouldn't give him that much hype.
If I'm thinking of him, he has missed a few pens for Palace. Like I'm just thinking.
You can't base it all on a few pens. I could say Saka's like really overrated.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go underrated. Yeah.
All right.
I'm
going overrated.
Yeah, I'm going overrated.
Just. He's not a goal scorer, is he really?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what people hype him up about.
Yeah. That's actually true.
Ben White. Oh, you two know, especially Theo.
That's easy. So underrated.
I don't know.
I think he actually is.
What about when we bought him for 50 million?
See, I would say fairly, but because I have to pick one over rated. What's he done?
Can we go?
What's he done that gets
I think he's
can we go
been
fairly rated?
No.
I think he's been. He was one of our best players last season. Like he helped us out massively because I just think if not
What,
centre back,
how, why?
right back
Why?
position.
How does he get all this like credit of
I
he's
just
one of the
think-
best midfielders in the Prem?
Midfield, isn't it?
Oh,
No,
defenders
just
in the Prem.
because people don't think he's that good, and I actually think he's quality. Like he's.
Do they? From,
Yeah, I don't
people-
really think people think he's like. Because I think last season, take out Trippier, was the best right back in the Prem.
Really?
Yeah, last season. If you don't talk about Trippier,
Walker.
Ben White. No,
Actually,
Ben White.
we should put Kyle
Yeah.
Walker in there. We don't have him.
Ben White. Apart
'Cause I
from
think-
Trippier, last season, best right back in the league. I think if Tomiyasu's back this season, he might not play as much.
I suppose so. I can't really think of anyone.
I'm going to say
Oh,
underrated.
Trippier.
But
I agree
that's
with what he
me.
said about
I'm
him being the
still going to
second
say
best
overrated.
last season, but I don't know.
Because he gets so much credit
Do you think?
from what I've seen.
I think that's only because you know Theo.
yeah.
But and I don't know really what he's.
I'm
what he's
only
done
going to
to
go
deserve it.
overrated, only because we bought him for 50 million. Because I have no clue. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
50?
50
Right.
million.
Well, then that's
So I'm,
even more.
I'm only going overrated a little bit because Theo speaks about him every single hour of every day.
I
So
don't
he's-
actually. It's only once Arsenal play. He is actually.
And because we bought
Well,
him for
for
50 million.
for a £50 million player, then
I do think last season he was second best right back in the league. I agree with that. But still, I just think
because that's what price tags
40
do
million.
to people.
Yeah.
Everyone in a few years will be going, "Oh, Caicedo, 100 million, and he's
Yeah.
been
I know.
a crap midfielder."
He's not
Whereas
even
if
worth
he was
100
50,
mil now.
60 million, then he would have been probably underrated for that price.